This is Cantey Smith. We're at the Tellus Science Museum.
We are, David, here at Tellus Science Museum right at the end of spring break. We're in front of and looking at, behind me here, a mosasaur.
What is that?
Well, and let me correct my pronunciation, because sometimes folks pronounce it as a mosasaur, but this is a very interesting creature, and I always love to bring it up with the children because they often see a lot of different animals that are combined to make this particular creature. So I'm going to ask, and I'm going to ask you, David, what kind of animals do you think are represented in this skeleton? What do you see?
I think it looks like a big fish to me.
A big fish? Okay. All right. It does have some fish-like characteristics.
Maybe alligator.
An alligator's one that usually comes up. Anything else that you see that might...
The head of dinosaur or something looks like just a...
Okay. It kind of looks like a dinosaur as well. And it is a fish. It's a carnivore. It is a fish.
Okay.
A lot of times people will look at it and say it looks like an alligator, which you mentioned. And then a lot of times people will look at these fins and say that it looks like a whale or a seal.
Okay.
Because it has those kind of pinniped kind of appendages here. Unlike an alligator, when you see an alligator, you know, they have those little short legs and they have little stubby fingers, little short hands.
Right.
So that looks very different here. And one thing I will mention to you about the mosasaur, this particular creature here is actually an adolescent. It's only a teenager. We didn't get the adult skeleton because it would have been so large it would have taken up the entire gallery. So that's one of the reasons we purchased this particular one. And I think this creature here is 32 feet in length. So it still had only about 70% of its growth done. So it was going to get much bigger. So it's kind of interesting how that.
What was its primary source of food?
It was an apex predator of the Cretaceous seas, and it definitely ate a lot of fish. It would eat any other creature that basically anything it could find, it would eat. Now remember though, mammals weren't yet necessarily in the water. The sharks were around, and some early prototypes perhaps for some of the, fish were here, but sea mammals is what I'm trying to say. They may not have been
When
here.
was this on the planet Earth?
Well, we'll step right over here, David, and maybe get a shot of the label. Excuse us, thank you. And you can see it gives a lot of, this is the Cretaceous age, so we're talking about 110 to 95 million years ago is when this swam in the seas. And it says right here the diet was just fish, some birds, ammonites, which is actually interestingly enough, I don't know that I have a large ammonite here to show you. Yes, I do too. If you want to come this way, let me show you. You can shoot right here. This is an ammonite, and these shell creatures would get up to 6 feet in diameter. They would get huge. These were also pretty voracious predators as well. And they had a squid-like organism that would come out of that opening there with tentacles. And so that's what the ammonite is what the mosasaur would actually eat. And I don't know, David, let's step back over. I hope you can get a shot of it because we talked about the different animals that this might look like. And one of the things that this actually is one of my favorite. What do you see up in the roof of the mouth there?
More teeth.
More teeth. Look at that. So you have teeth here on the jaws, and then you have a whole two sets, an inverted V, of another set of teeth, and those are called pteroglottids. And there's another creature on Earth today that also has pteroglottids, and that's a snake. And the mosasaur is actually most closely related to snakes. And we know this because of those pteroglottids. And then one other feature that's unique to snakes is the fact that it could actually drop that lower jaw like constrictors can. So when they've constricted and they open up that mouth, and he could actually drop that jaw. So that's one of the things that makes us think that he's most closely related to snakes.
That is so interesting. Tell everybody, we're at the Tellus Science Museum. Tell everybody where you're located.
We're here in Cartersville, Georgia, and we are a sister museum to the Booth Western Art Museum. But we're very proudly a Smithsonian associate. We're working very closely with the Smithsonian right now. We have several temporary exhibits coming in, and we have right now Clay to Copper that's running through November. And we're excited about that. Go to our website, and all the details are there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's back! Employee pricing for everyone on every new Kia in stock. Only at Metro Kia in Cartersville. Now through Monday, you pay what we pay on every new Kia in stock. Save thousands, hundreds to choose from, all with employee pricing. And get Metro Kia's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile nationwide warranty on all new and pre-owned. Don't miss it! Employee pricing for everyone at Metro Kia in Cartersville. You pay what we pay.
Right here at Metro Kia in Cartersville.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even mermutts. And we covered it February 3rd, 2016. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
I'm Rashard Carson, your local farmers insurance agent, right here on North Bartow Street, Cartersville, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Don Weathers with 24 Bail Bonds. We're located on Xena Drive, just right down from the jail. You can't miss me with this big bright yellow building and the red trim. And there's my phone number right there. Put it in your phone. Keep me on speed dial. You never know when you're going to need me. But I guarantee you when you do, I'm going to treat you like family, and we're going to get you out of jail no matter where you're at in the state of Georgia. We have several locations, so it doesn't matter what you're charged with or where you're at, we're going to come to your rescue. We're going to get you out of that old stinky jail. You call me 770-382-2424, and we'll be there when you need us.
Wanted to ask you about concealed weapons permit.
Okay.
What are the rules on it? Can anybody get one?
You can go to the probate judge's office. It's a one-stop shop. You go there and they fingerprint you and they take all your information, run your background check, and send it off to the state. And the feds will do a background check too. If you're not a convicted felon, you're eligible to get a carry permit. And it's my advice for everybody that doesn't have one to go get one.
Now, if I can buy a gun, does that guarantee me being able to get a concealed weapon permit?
No, not necessarily. You can buy a gun if you had a dishonorable discharge from the military, or if you've been convicted of family violence and it was a bad situation. You could possibly be turned down for your concealed carry permit. You could possibly also be turned down to buy a handgun. Now, if you don't have a concealed carry permit and you go and try to purchase a handgun, you may be approved to purchase it, but you will have the waiting period while they do all the checks and all the balances and things like that now. And you can get a shotgun or a long gun the same day. Now, if you have a concealed permit and you go to an establishment that sells firearms, with your concealed permit and your driver's license, you'll be able to walk out the door with a handgun that day. So my advice is, I'm a Second Amendment advocate. I'm a firm believer in our Constitution and our Second Amendment. I defend it till the day I die. I want everybody who can legally own a handgun and have a carry permit to please go and purchase a firearm to protect yourself and your family.
I'm hearing different things on the internet or on Facebook about concealed weapons, and if you're pulled over by a police officer, and how to handle that. How do you handle that?
Well, see, here's the thing about carrying in your vehicle. You do not have to have a carry permit to carry a firearm in your car. It's like they consider it an extension of your home. Now, there are some rules to carrying a firearm in your car. If you have it in plain view, that's legal. But you need to remember the two-step rule. If it takes you one step of opening the glove box and reaching in and getting your gun, that's step number 2. Two-step rule unless you have it in plain view. You cannot have it under the seat. You cannot have it in the pocket of the door. That's against the rules. Now, if you're pulled over and you have a firearm in plain view, my advice to you is keep both hands on the wheel, and when the officer steps up, say, "Officer, I'm here, I have a concealed permit, I have a firearm right here on the seat beside me." That way, the officer, you've established a little trust right there off the bat, because that officer doesn't know who's he's approaching, doesn't know who he's pulled over, other than what he gets back on the tag that he was called in. He'll know who you are from the call or the tag, or who owns the car. But my advice is, if you've got a firearm in the vehicle and you legally got it there, go ahead and tell that officer. That establishes that little moment of trust. lets that officer back up a little bit because he's not so wary anymore because he knows there's a firearm in the car, but he knows you're not going to reach and get it.
So it's my choice whether I do.
It's your choice. Yeah, it is. I mean, you don't have to, but if it's in plain view on the seat beside you and the officer sees it and you don't go ahead and tell him, it's probably going to cause a little tension right there just for a few minutes.
Okay, with a concealed weapon permit, when can I pull the gun out?
Can you pull it out?
When can I, if I'm in a, when can I pull it out and actually draw it?
Are you talking about in defense of yourself?
Well, let's say I'm in a convenience store and it's being robbed, or I'm just in a, I don't know. So when can you, legally, when can you pull it out?
If there is a felony in progress or you feel threatened in any way, you have the right under the Constitution to pull your weapon any time. Now, you know, I don't need a bunch of cowboys running around here in Bartow County. And because, you know, I want everybody to get along. I want us all to work together to be safe. But if you're stopping a felony in progress, then you have every right under the Constitution to do that. But I don't want to get into a situation where everybody starts waving pistols around all over the place. You know, if you're going to carry your weapon, carry it legally, be safe with it. I want everybody to be trained in how to carry a firearm and when to pull it and things like that.
Hi everybody, I'm Michelle Queen.
And I'm Michael Queen.
We are the Realty Queen and team at Ashton Taylor Realty. We do specialize in homes that do not sell the first time around. If your home has expired in this seller's market, that is a huge problem. You owe it to yourself to interview more than one agent, call a professional that is strong to negotiate on your behalf to net you the most amount of money and sell your home in the least amount of time possible.
Our actions create results. We have a great marketing plan. Please contact us. We'd love to come out and check out your home and get you listed on the market and get sold in a timely manner.
Hello, my name is Mary Glass. I'm the owner of the Herb Shop of Cartersville on Main Street. I've been here since 1993. I've served the community all these years and would love you to stop by and see us and see our store. This is my daughter Bria. She helps me run the store now.
We welcome you to come in and educate yourself on the quality of Nature's Sunshine products and the benefits of whole food vitamins. And visit historic downtown Cartersville.
Thank you all.
I'm David Klein with CNC Exterminators, a second-generation pest control company from here in Cartersville. We've been servicing the Bartow and surrounding counties for over 40 years. We specialize in residential and commercial pest control and termite services. We offer free inspections, so if you're currently having a problem or just need expert advice, please give us a call at 770-382-2223. at 770-382-2223. Thank you.
Welcome to Bodyplex.
Hey everybody, this is Katie. What's your last name, Katie?
Gobbi.
And you're at the Euharlee Museum.
Yes, the Euharlee Welcome Center and History Museum.
What is your title there?
I'm the director.
Nice to meet you, Katie.
Yes, you too.
Now we're at the entrance. This is the back entrance. How do you refer to this?
This is the Euharlee covered bridge. This is the entrance that most people don't see. If they don't cross the bridge, they don't see it. But we like to show it. It's a little bit more serene than the other side that's exposed to the road.
It's beautiful. We just walked across it. Kind of spooky walking across it.
It is a little, because it's even on a bright day, which today's a little overcast, it's still pretty dark in there.
Yeah, just it's weird being that high, you know, just something that old and trusting it. And,
right.
All right, tell us the history. How old is this bridge?
This bridge was built in 1886.
Okay.
And it was built by Washington King and Jonathan Burke. And Washington King was the son of Horace King. Horace King is a famous bridge builder who was born as a slave and went on to build bridges throughout the Southeast. And so Washington was just one of his 4 sons who really had a significant impact on the infrastructure of our South, the Southeast, but also of Bartow County. I think everybody who lives in Bartow County is familiar with this bridge, and I call it the crown jewel of Euharlee because it is just picturesque, and we're so thrilled that we've been able to preserve it since 1886.
Now, what river is this?
This is actually the Euharlee Creek. It meets the Etowah River just a few more feet down down the way.
How did they cross before this?
This is not the first bridge that crossed Euharlee Creek right here, but this is the one that has sustained the longest. They've had ferries that crossed the bridge before. We've also had not as sound bridges that often were washed out, especially in the springtime as some of the snow and ice would melt and the waters would rise. And unfortunately, people have died crossing this creek before. It doesn't look like it might be dangerous, but just with a little bit of rain, it rises pretty quickly. So we.
Well, how high can it rise?
I'm not an expert on that, so I can't give you a definite answer. But I mean, I've seen it actually go into the gristmill ruins before.
Wow. Now, what am I looking at right there? What is that?
This is the ruin of the Lowry gristmill. We can date back.
What did they do there?
They milled wheat and corn, and at some point they also had an extension. They're able to card wool. But this was really the centerpiece of business in Euharlee, as far as we can tell, for quite a long time. Part of the ruin was, we think, established in even as early as the 1830s, but the Lowry family did not own the mill until 1880. And they actually owned the property and operated the mill until into the 20th century. It really, without the Lowry family here, Euharlee probably would not, this bridge would not have sustained, and a lot of the land here wouldn't be what it is today.
Now, what am I looking at up here? What is that?
This is one of our newest structures in Euharlee. This is actually, it's built in the post and beam style to look older, but it is a pavilion, a covered pavilion that we actually rent in the city of Euharlee. You can rent the pavilion as well as the bridge site for special events, weddings, different things like that.
Are people taking advantage of that?
I believe so. I have seen quite a few weddings at this site, and it's pretty affordable.
Who do you see about that?
You can go to City Hall. You can see Lori Cecil, our administrative assistant.
She can rent you this bridge.
Yes.
Wow. If you want something completely different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have several rentals in the city of Euharlee, and this is just one of our beautiful rentals.
Is this on the ghost tour?
It usually is, yes.
Why?
Well, our ghost tour is...
Well, I mean, has anything been spotted here, or people sightings,
have,
or...
Yes. That was before I started working here, that they did some paranormal investigations, or private individuals came out and did some paranormal investigations. Right. And they came in and they told me they did see some spirits walking through. But we actually closed the bridge at night with some gates, so we don't have residents walking through, but I don't know who else might be. But our ghost tour that we do here is a little more friendly. It's more history oriented.
Right.
So
you don't get into that, but
we don't quite get into that. People ask and we'll tell them, but we talk more about the history. We have someone portraying our bridge builder, usually talking about building this 138-foot bridge over the creek.
Everybody, this is Katie. Tell everybody what your title is again.
I'm the director of the Euharlee Welcome Center and History Museum. Come out and see us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome to Treasure Chest. Come on in and let me show you how I can save you some money. Hey, we have a live edge table, 4 chairs, bench, table, $12.99. 8 chairs, table for $9.49. We have bunk beds. We have full bedroom suites. We have a living room suite that reclines. It starts at $12.99. We have regular standard seating that starts at $4.99 for your sofa love. We have lift chairs. Anything that you may want in dining, we have new and used. A lot of our used stuff comes in by consignment. If you've got something you want to get rid of, we may be able to help you do that. We carry a full line of mattresses from twin all the way up to king. We have rugs, start 5x8, 8x10, anything you can think of. Come on by at Treasure Chest. We're located at 927 North Tennessee Street in beautiful Cartersville, Georgia, just a short drive from Atlanta. Come on by, you never know what you're gonna find.
Thanks for stopping by Treasure Chest.
Image screen printing and window tint can print your stickers, vinyl graphics, and vehicle wrap designs. We use the latest technology in window film to cut patterns for your car with precision cuts. Image is the only authorized Lumar window film dealer in Cartersville since 1988, offering a lifetime warranty on cars, trucks, big trucks, and commercial professional installation. We also have a large assortment of apparel to choose from. You can pick out colors and see available printed shirts for ideas and logo designs. Image makes custom yard signs, banners, magnetic signs, business cards, and much more. Call us 770-386-0025 or come visit us at our new location, 301 North Tennessee Street in Cartersville, right next to Weinman Stadium. Go Canes!
Hey everybody, this is Scott Shepard. Hey Scott Shepard.
Good morning, David Paul.
This is one old church right here. Tell everybody what church this is.
Well, David, this is Brandon's Chapel Baptist Church. It wasn't always Brandon's Chapel Baptist Church. It started out as a Methodist church in 1836.
Is this the original church?
No, David. Thomas W. Brandon in 1836 started a Sunday school class in his home, which was a log structure, and that led to the forming of the first Methodist church in this area. Also was a school in this district, and that was over by the Euharlee Creek. And then between 1846 and 1855, the date is somewhat obscure, Brandon Chapel Methodist Church was moved to the J.S. Beasley property, and then in 1891, W.E. Puckett gave this piece of land for the building of Brandon Chapel Methodist Church. And the history books say that in 1898, a cyclone came through, destroyed Brandon Chapel Methodist Church. This beautiful church here was built in 1899 and renamed Stylesboro Methodist Church after the community of Stylesboro.
Now, next door, what is this? Let me focus in on this if I can and show what this is. That looks like an old home.
David, that was the parsonage. That was the home for the preacher and his wife and family. Whoever pastored this old church was allowed the privilege of living there.
In its day, I bet it was something.
It was beautiful, I'm sure, in its day.
How old is that home?
Probably a little bit younger than the church.
All right. Now, two doors. Explain what the two doors is about in the front of your church.
Well, David, believe it or not, back in the day, the two doors for the men and for the women. The men would go in on the left side, the left door, and the women would go in the right door on the right side. The men would sit on the left of the church. The men would sit on the right of the church. I'm sorry, the men would sit on the left of the church. The women would sit on the right of the church, and the children would sit in the middle.
Now, we're in Stylesboro, Georgia. Now, tell everybody a little bit about Stylesboro.
Well, David, you know, 100 years ago, everybody knew where Stylesboro was. Today, not so much. The Stylesboro Academy is a mile from here, and Stylesboro, the community, goes 1 mile in every direction, north, south, east, and west from the Stylesboro Academy. The Stylesboro Academy was built in 1859 at a cost of $5,000. And when Sherman and his troops, about 26,000 troops, marched through here as he was burning all of Georgia on his march to the sea, when he went into the Stylesboro Academy, he was prepared to burn it, but he saw written in Latin over the door, to God and country, and that he remembered that was the motto at West Point and spared that old academy. And so the community of Stylesboro is 1 mile north, south, east, and west from the Stylesboro Academy.
And you do not have a grocery store?
We do not have a grocery store, David.
Do you have a gas station?
We have a convenience store.
You have a convenience store?
Yes, sir.
Is that it? I mean,
that's about it.
But people are happy out here.
They're happy.
And you're 10 miles away from a grocery store or whatever.
And we're right across the street from a working cotton gin.
A working cotton gin. Wow. Well, let's show everybody inside. now inside the church. We're walking into a little room to the left right when you walk in. What is this room?
Well, David, this is a bell tower room. Back in 1899, churches had a bell. We still have a bell. We still ring it every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. I have a deacon that says he rings it to let everybody know that God is still on the throne. And so, would you like to hear it?
Yes, I'd love to.
All right, absolutely. We had some work done on our steeples, and a man shimmied up there and took a picture of the bell, and it says Bullseye Bell Company 1893. So it's an old bell.
The original bell?
The original bell.
Okay, let's walk into your church here. Now this to the left here is where the men sat.
That's right.
Right here. Children in the middle.
And women to the right.
How many can you fit in here?
You know, David, I would say between 150 and 200.
Beautiful stained glass windows.
Original.
Original.
From 1899, someone told me that these windows were probably more expensive than this whole building and the property that it sits on.
Now this is a Baptist church.
Baptist church. This church was founded as Brandon Chapel Baptist Church, February the 18th, 1997. We are a part of the Bartow Baptist Association, which is a part of the Georgia Baptist Convention, which is a part of the Southern Baptist Convention. So we are a Southern Baptist church.
Now you told me earlier, you said that's up here on the left side was the Amen corner.
The Amen corner.
Amen corner.
Amen corner, David. To the left. Up front, men would sit and they would amen the preacher when he said something that stirred them.
Was that normal in a church back then?
It was. It really was. There was an amen corner.
An amen corner. Do you have an amen corner?
I do not. I would love to have one.
Can't start one? Can't get a bunch of volunteers? Or okay. This looks... I can't... Any ghosts or anything in here? You hear any noises or anything? Or?
No, sir. No ghost.
Everybody, this is Scott Shepard. Thank you very, very much for giving us a tour of your church.
Thank you, David Paul. God bless you.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even mermutts. And we covered it February 3rd, 2016. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
I'm Rashard Carson, your local farmers insurance agent, right here on North Bartow Street, Cartersville, Georgia.
It's back! Employee pricing for everyone on every new Kia in stock, only at Metro Kia in Cartersville. Now through Monday, you pay what we pay on every new Kia in stock. Save thousands, hundreds to choose from, all with employee pricing. And get Metro Kia's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile nationwide warranty on all new and pre-owned. Don't miss it! Employee pricing for everyone at Metro Kia in Cartersville. You pay what we pay.
Right here at Metro Kia in Cartersville.